Today's episode is presented by our favorite sponsor. You need to be hydrated. You know where to go. That's A Game. Whether you're at home, at work, in the gym, in the classroom, success means giving nothing less than your best. Your peak performance, your A Game. And now there's a beverage designed to help you bring your best when you need it the most. Terrence, you need it the most. You're sweating, you're running, you're jumping, you get dehydrated. You need it. A Game is full of essential vitamins and nutrients to keep your body primed for action. It provides hydration to boost recovery after you've given your all. Bring your A Game, bring your best. Tell the world, bring it on. Shout out A Game. Everybody go check them out at drinkingagame.com.
Good evening, good night. Welcome to the show, what a wonderful delight. Patsy and T.ROSS better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride.
There is a lot to talk about right now.
There's a lot going on in the world.
Specifically the basketball world, man. I mean, the biggest thing is something obviously that's tied close to us is, Ime Udoka, which it's been a saga, man. And I like have really dove into the Twitter world lately. Like I've really
gotta stay away from it.
Bro, it's crazy. Like I never really was big on Twitter. Like, yeah, you see articles, whatever, but now it's like you start digging deeper and deeper into it and it gets
toxic. That's all it is.
It's like
nobody knows what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, the timeline is so like the first, let's just back up a little bit. Like Woj comes out, has a very vague tweet about Ime Udoka and possibly being suspended the whole year, but no information. Just it's organizational guidelines, broke rules, whatever it was. And then Shams comes like 2 hours later with,
Shams is not Shams is not one that's just like.
Yeah, because it seemed like, they wanted to keep it in-house. And then he comes out and says, improper, intimate relationship that was consensual, the female staffer. And then it's just like a whirlwind of things. I mean, today I saw the clip of Matt Barnes talking about this thing's way deeper than anyone will know. It's way messier. And that's what, like, I think... For me, it's like I feel like the organization wanted to keep this in-house because as an organizational thing, like unless you're trying to force Ime out, I don't know.
That's not even the case because they said his job isn't in like jeopardy. So that is not going to be the reason as to why but something's going on and we'll never know. Like this is because even now, like everybody's talking about it in the locker room. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's trying to figure out like what the hell's going on. Why would the Celtics even take it this far? And because it's not a league rule. It's
exactly
rule.
And it's not legal. It doesn't sound like it's illegal because that the NBA would take action.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. This is it's unfortunate, like I said, just because we know Ime.
Yeah, and like obviously he's done so much for me and my life of basketball. You too, like obviously AU, all that stuff. He provided us with a lot of stuff at a young age. But yeah, it's crazy to see, and it like the more I look into it too, like I saw the owners of the Celtics talk and Brad Stevens talk today. It seems like they don't want to let him go, but at the same time, like when a coach is suspended for a whole year, that's like different than a player.
Something's going on,
because like coming back after not coaching for a year is a lot different than a player, like because like the coach is like the head of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like a player just fits into that. Like it seems like things could change in a year where it doesn't work out.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
But no, it's definitely with it being a coach, it definitely holds more weight because he's the leader of the team. He's kind of the guy that kind of answers for everything that's happening on the team. But it just sucks because it's such a vague. Yeah, it's nobody has a clear understanding. Nobody knows what's going on. And at the same time, like,
and who does? They're not talking.
He's getting ripped for this. And at the end of the day, like it was kind of messed up, but like it's still consensual. So that's the other reason why, like, I'm not understanding why they're going so hard on him for. Like, it's crazy. And I mean, of course, you can't have any type of intimate, relationships in the workplace. That goes without saying, but
are those like
I
mean, I don't know NBA organizations, like are those in contracts, like are those like
I don't know. I mean, it's
like,
not nothing
do you
really
I mean, do you guys go over organizational rules at the Maverick or at the Magic?
I mean, yeah, before every training camp we have meetings, we have
Okay.
we have a rule book.
Yeah.
Not that everybody's ever gonna read it, but I mean, it's just one of those things that it should go without saying.
Yeah.
And so you just think you would have to cover that. So nobody's ever really addressed it. Nobody's ever really, brought it up. So, I mean, and honestly, like we've only been having, well, not only, but since my time in the league, like it's been more of a mix of like women in the workplace than it has been like ever before. At least in my career, like, my first 5-6 years with the Raptors, it was all male staff. And then the women that did work on the team they were like front office. So now, now there's more like, women in the active workplace of like the athletes. It's just like, I mean, you would, I don't know if you, I mean, I still not many ever think of because it's just such a professional setting that nobody's ever really.
But the thing with like this is like, and it's not just sport. I imagine, yes, in NBA for sure, there's been relationships, 100%, 100%.
But that's in any workplace, though.
But that's what I was about to say. So it's like there's always like the general rule, like, oh, don't date someone you work with. But at the same time, like it happens everywhere, and it's also like you live your life, you work at a place, like you spend a lot of time with somebody, you start to have feelings for somebody. Like that's how
it goes without saying.
Yeah, like that's just nature of like human beings. Like you're
I think we all can understand and level with them. Like, okay, I completely understand. It's not like this is some inconceivable notion that
happens.
That this happens. That's just like, oh no, but it's just like this happens. This is a normal human instinct. Yeah, I mean,
there's something deeper than that because there's also like I guess they recently accused him of making unwanted comments towards her, and that's what led to this.
But like,
we don't know what that is.
Wait, towards her or just another?
Yeah. So this, they supposedly said they knew in July, and then they said recently accused him of making unwanted comments towards her recently, and then that's what had also escalated this situation.
That's vague itself.
For sure. I mean, unwanted comments, like I don't know what that is. Like I could say something unwanted towards you.
Hey, you're ugly. Like, is that what sparked all this? Because at the end of the day, it's either something because it's so vague that
no one knows.
Usually try to spin their own story and try to make somebody else look bad. They give you these half-ass stories and they give you these vague explanations that are just like, well, that doesn't make sense. Give us more, and then they can't. And that's what this is starting to feel like. It's just like, all right, maybe. I'm sure everybody's at fault here, but like for this to happen, for you guys to look into this seems like you're just looking for any reason to kind of do this to him. I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like he's the victim because he's definitely not, but it just doesn't seem like what led to this again. Like, cause it's all sketch that he was doing it, but it's even more sketch of how they said they stumbled upon it. So that's to me is just like, it's definitely a deeper story here. Somebody is definitely trying to tarnish somebody's name or try to put somebody's dirty laundry on Front Street for something. And that's what I think what Matt Barnes is talking about. Like, there's a lot more layers to this story. There's a lot more shit that we probably won't know until 10 years, 20 years from now when they make it a freaking documentary on Netflix. Who knows? But
or if they try to force him out, let's say halfway through the year they're doing well and they're just like, we're not going to go back with him. Because reading today, like it's not 100% like after his suspension that they're going to go back to him. Like, you got to think after a year, things can change in a year. Like,
no, absolutely. I mean, they went to the finals 1 year and now they think they can just do it without him.
No, that's what's crazy to me.
That's the other thing too.
I was like, he just got him to the finals. Things.
And I don't want to be like the guy that's like, hey, if you win a championship, what you're going to keep him? You're going to cap him? Like, this all stays under the table as long as
no. Exactly, and that's not the point. Like, obviously, if there's something foul, but that's like you said, it's so vague. Like, we can't even like you can't even have a true opinion one way or the other because we don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's so vague that makes me question the person reporting it. Just because, like, are you like
Why is there not more information? Why aren't these lead news sources dropping like the full story if they know? But they must not. But like, yeah, I mean, they said today in their interview like that,
over Black Twitter. I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's I mean, then on top of that, like, I mean, obviously for his family, like, I feel for them too. Like, that's a tough situation. I feel bad for the
spotlight.
I mean, even the lady's victim or the lady that was part of this, like, they've dug deep and they found her. Like, everyone.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they found her. It's not hard to find her. But who is it? Do you know who it is? Have you seen the picture?
Yeah, I know who she is.
But I don't know. I don't know. That's the other thing too. Like I don't know who it is because everybody said it's this person, that person, and then somebody's come out and said, "Hey, this is not her." Like she wants to let you know she had nothing to do with this. So I really don't know who the hell is being taken place. And it's probably the other bad thing. Do you think this would be as bad as if it was on? If it was it. In the facility where they're doing this?
See, that's where I don't know. Like, if that is the case, there's more to that too as well.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then I could see how they would tack on more time for that because that's crazy.
It's at the workplace and it's in the facility.
Like if it's not the workplace and it's still, like I said, it's consensual, mutual between both parties. It's like, bro, they need to get rid of her too. She needs to be taken care of.
Well, he's the only one getting punished. They just announced that today. Only him, specifically him. No one else.
She's gonna go back to work.
I don't know, but that would be super. I don't know.
Come on, bro.
I don't know.
So if that's the case, and it seems like maybe somebody has a bigger agenda out after all. Because like, why not? If it's consensual, it wasn't like he forced her to do anything. How are you not going to punish one party and punish the other? Especially when it's your head coach. If anything, just get rid of that girl. That seems like the logical sense. He's the head coach of the basketball team. You don't think there's crazy stories of fucking the head coaches going out, getting smashed or doing whatever? Like, I'm sure there is, but like, this is the first time that he gets punished for that. And I get it. You can't diddle in the workplace. I want to understand that. But it just seems like we gotta,
we gotta. I think we need to wait to see what when more information comes out, we'll know more, obviously, and see what transpires from this. But that also same day, earlier in the day, reports came out that the owner of the Suns is trying to sell the team now, and so that leads me to say the NBA was going to suspend him for 1 year and $10 million, and then an organization is trying to suspend the head coach for 1 year. It seems
way less
crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of that is.
And like it seems insane to me, like because I saw a list of like the longest suspensions. It's like Meta World Peace for getting in that brawl was like the same.
Yeah,
like assault, like assaulting people, and then you got like owners of like teams in the NFL that are doing crazy shit, sexual harassment, and then like they still own their teams, and like
you know what's crazy too? I would love to. It would be actually cool to see the NBA like kind of step in and handle this because something seems a little off. It seems like they shouldn't be. Punishing this dude as hard as they are. Like the NBA needs to be like, all right, we're gonna have final say in this matter. Tell us everything that happened, and then we'll be because I feel like right now it's only one side of the story coming out. There has to be more context, which none of us have, and which is why everybody can, draw these crazy conclusions and speculate all these fucking wild theories. But I don't know, bro. The NBA needs to get involved. They need to get to the bottom of this because like suspending this dude for a year over nothing, bro. Like it's I don't know. Like, if he cheated on his wife with some random bimbo, like, what, you still going to suspend him for half a year? Like, get out of here. That's not even for a year. Like, and I understand you guys have team rules, but goddamn. Like, what happens if it was a player? You're going to waive him? You're going to waive Jason Tatum if he sleeps with somebody in the organization? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here, bro.
It's, it is. It's pretty interesting.
It's pretty harsh. It's pretty harsh. Doesn't make sense. And I'm sure there's a lot more to the story, but come on.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, I mean, it's been a crazy 2 days on Twitter for sure, right? And just social media in general. Yeah. And then, like, I mean, on the lesser note, the NBA is looking to put back in or take out the one and done deal.
Straight to high school. I mean, shit, bro. These kids are already young as shit. Some aren't even going to college. So, I mean, you already made accommodations for the G League Ignite, so you might as well take the next step and let the kids who could
Just
actually make the league
go to the league.
I mean, LeBron has anything to do with it? No, no.
Bronny, he wants Bronny. He wants Bronny.
No, but they've been talking about this for years, though.
Well, and it's like I felt like they're trying to do the G League thing to kind of make G League so like people don't go to college, like almost like the college version. But I just don't think it's like. I think why not have these guys actually just be in the organization and
for sure. And now if kids can get paid in college and high school, like the incentive for them to go to the NBA might be a little less. And so with that in mind, you might be actually losing potential future stars to a year or two or whatever it is, rather than getting them here as quickly as you can and giving them the most bang for the buck. So who knows? It could be a lot of motives behind this.
Well, it's crazy because like you said, there's kids in college making money. So like do you know Drew Timmy? He plays for Gonzaga, their star player. He has like the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
So and obviously I'm in Spokane, like I'm connected to people at Gonzaga, and I heard he's making $1 million this year in ads. And so it's like, and he was skeptical. He was thinking about going to the NBA draft last year, but he was like either going to be a late second round pick or not picked at all. And so it's like, let's say you don't get picked and then you go to training camp, you don't get a team, and then you go overseas and you make a couple $100,000. It's like
you just missed out on a whole bunch of money that you could have had. And that's the thing. A lot of guys,
why wouldn't you just stay in college 1 year, get the $1 million, and then he's still a good player. Like he's gonna make money playing somewhere no matter what. Yeah, no matter what.
Money in your pocket and you're not so stressed out about what the future holds because you have a little bit more money in your pocket, you have a little bit of time to make decisions. Yeah, absolutely. And that's gonna be the thing though. How many guys are gonna realize that though? Because a lot of guys like to take that leap of faith and just like, I'm going to go to training camp. I'm going to ball out. I'm going to make an impression. That happens, but it doesn't happen as much as people think. So, I can guarantee you'll probably start seeing a lot more guys staying in college a little longer.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of building their brand earlier before they get to the league because then regardless if, you stay in the league for 15 years or if you're out by 5, like you already have some sort of foundation set up to allow you to go on, continue life as a normal person. So,
the branding part is really big though. Cause you're right. Cause like these kids in high school now are having like actual like brands, like they're having social media followings of 1 million followers. So it's like
Mikey Williams. Did you hear what he said? I forgot what podcast he was on, but he said he was like, "Yo, by fucking 25, I want to be worth $1 billion."
$1 billion. Yeah.
But that's perfectly feasible. Like, who knows if he'll hit it? But like, we know that there's going to be with the way that the
marketing, everything,
like the way the
TV deals,
going, bro.
Branding.
Everything's about views. Everything's about who has the most attention, who can garner up the most people.
Because it's statistics. Because brands are like, okay, if I know that we can put this out, then I'm going to put money into this because that's just like having an ad on TV.
Why waste millions of dollars on advertisement that people are going to skim over rather than just going straight to somebody's favorite person who they tap in with all the time and let them preach that to them, and it holds more weight. And so now you're almost spending. I'll just get this $5 million I was going to spend on advertising Mikey Williams to let him do the advertising for me, and it's a win-win. Like,
well, and that's the other thing too, because now it's like, okay, now I can go to the NBA, which is like a leap of faith right out of high school. No matter what, how good you are, it's very. I mean, you see guys that don't make it all the time, and you see the few that are very stars that are really good that do make it. But then you have colleges now trying to sell you on ad money, and like it's crazy what it's turning into.
Yeah, they can do that. I bet you that has become a recruiting tactic.
No, like, exactly.
Like Duke, and
for sure,
be a Blue Devil for the rest of your life, and you always have a way to make some type of.
Well, no, and then you could say, oh, we have a company here that is going to give you this much money to promote this. Like I was talking to a kid. I was just talking to a random kid from out here, who goes to Boise State, and he's just like he had a really good year last year. Boise State went to the NCAA tournament. I was talking about NIL, and I was like, how much are you getting? Or like, how's it going for you? He's like, I got like a hookup on a car. I get like 10K this year for my freshman year. I'm like, dude, I wish I had something like that.
So, bro, so that's what I'm saying. So
I was like, I got nothing.
Okay, so if you could go back and do it, like, what would you have done? Would you do something different? Would you stay the route that you're on now? Like, what would you have done knowing that? All right,
in college,
profitable in college. Yeah.
It would be interesting because you would think maybe going to a bigger school would help you make more money, but that's not necessarily like if
That's not the case.
I would probably have entrenched myself more in the community just to know people that had money that could, and like also obviously social media. I wasn't big on social media in college at all. Like I didn't care.
No presence.
Like no, I didn't post. I didn't do anything like Facebook, none of that. So it's like building that more, like going back and then just building relationships more because like those people like. There's a lot of alumni that want to help out their kids. Like they obviously were doing it in the past when it wasn't illegal or legal, but
now it is. But I'm not. No, it's not. But yeah, no, for sure, bro. Who knows what I would have done? I mean, like I said, like I didn't know I was going to the NBA until literally like the end of my freshman year, when scouts started telling my coaches, like asking questions, and they let me know that, hey, you're on the radar. That kind of changed my whole perspective because you know me, bro. Like you never heard me growing up talking about, I'm gonna go to the league, I'm trying to play in the NBA.
No, we just
I was more just like I'm just trying to play. And for me, my whole goal was college. Like I wanted to get to college, and I wanted to fucking stay there as long as I could. Then maybe go overseas, try my hands at NBA later down the road. But like knowing what I know now, because when I took my official visit to Washington, Isaiah Thomas had a two-tone charger with 22s on it, and in the middle of the rims said IT. Abdul Gaddy had a silver charger with rims with it. Justin Holiday had Drew's old Challenger, or like a Range Rover, or not Range. It was a Cadillac, like 20s. And then even like Scott Suggs, he came off the bench. He had a car. Like everybody had a whip. So I'm thinking, all right, I go here, I'm gonna get a car. Like somebody's gonna hook me up with a car. I get there, everything's like absolutely legal, paid for, all legit, and I was pissed. So like knowing that that's what my mindset was back then, absolutely, bro. Who knows if I would have went to Washington? I might have went to somewhere where I knew I was going to be the top dog as soon as I stepped on campus, and that would have garnered me money, and I would have gone.
Yeah, well, like let's say they were like, you can get like you just have to do some car dealership stuff, and you get $15,000 for your freshman, like right off the bat.
$15,000, and we'll give you a car. What, bro? I'm sold. Like, can anybody do better than that? Because that's where I'm gonna head to. Like,
we used to ride around in my Malibu, bro. We didn't even have nothing else. Like, Doug,
nothing, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. It's like it would be crazy for me as a freshman just to have an extra $15,000 in my pocket, and I would have been like, wow, like I'm living off $400.
But I can't say that I would do anything different just because, like,
no, I wouldn't.
It's been good, but like,
yeah.
With that option being there, who knows if I would have went the harder route and just like took a chance on everything and then just everything working out for me. But it's such a it's more of a life-changing moment now when you get to the end of high school, because all right, if I play this right, I can get paid either big right now, or I can get paid good right now, or I can get paid if this all works out for me if I go to the league and I end up doing well there. So I think that it will be a different learning curve for the next generation.
Either way, like as a young basketball player, like you have to continue to be better at basketball or at your sport, because that's what's going to lead you to all of that anyways. It's like Drew Timme didn't get to the $1 million because he just was some slouch. It's like he's the best player on the number one team in the country for 4 straight years. Like that led him to get to, he's on freaking every ad out here. He's on every commercial in the Northwest. He's in local, so
he's a legend. He could live there if he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the greatest Gonzaga players of all time, and it's one of the best programs in the country as we speak. So it's like, there's no easy way to it, no matter what. It's like, it's crazy, man.
Hey, you hear about Monty Bates?
Yeah, he got arrested with a gun in the car.
What's going on? What is that about?
Heard. I guess they said there was more to the story that. Of
course, there is. Always is.
There always is. One of those things. It was someone else's car and he was driving it. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's stick to the script. Stick to the script. This is your car. I'm just driving it. Okay. I'm just driving it, bro.
I mean, I don't like to bash young hoopers like that, but to go, I mean, his fall is he's headed the wrong direction. It feels like going from Memphis to Eastern Michigan. It seems like
he'll get a chance. He still has.
Well, it's crazy because I went to the game last year. I went to the NCAA tournament game, Memphis versus Gonzaga in Portland, and He looked
What did
good.
it look like? He looked good, right? Like,
he looks solid. I just think there's some extra issues there with. I just don't think he believed in Penny and what they were doing there, so he kind of shut out stuff and like.
oh, so he's kind of
Well, it's like one of those things where like, okay, you think you're a star, you're a really good player, but you don't shoot all the time. So then when you get the ball, you try to make some crazy plays.
Yeah,
And you make
for sure.
you make it happen. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, this guy has got some moves, but then you make some really bad plays, and you're like, that looks bad.
Yeah, that's the other thing, bro. Like the hardest thing to do not in basketball, but I would say one of the more challenging things that people that kind of overlook. Everybody wants to be the go-to guy. Everybody wants to be the scorer. Everybody wants to work out Chris Brickley. Everybody wants to be that guy. But at the end of the day, bro, there's 30 teams and there's probably like 22 of those type of guys in the entire world that who are going to be the go-to guys. Give me the ball, get out of my way. If you don't know how to do anything outside of
that,
if you don't know how to play basketball, if you don't know how to fill the wings, run, catch and shoot, drive, space it, swing it, like you will not be successful. That's why you see more guys having really long careers who are like more so role players who know how to play the game than these guys. Like, yeah, there's always going to be those guys who get the $250 million contracts because those are the 22 guys that do that. But at the same time, bro, if you don't know how to work the game, you're going to look out of place when you're just if you're not doing what's comfortable to you. So like, that's kind of what I see happening to him. He's not the focal point. Like, he's not necessarily always a go-to guy. He's a very young, capable scorer. And like, who knows if he was just there and he stuck it out and he was there for 3 years, he'd be the fucking superstar by end of year 2.
They had two NBA players. They had 2 NBA players get drafted in the first round last year. So it's like they had other good players.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to give yourself time to like, bro, you're not going to be that guy. And that's the thing. Look, everybody wants to be one and done. Like, if you go in there and you just fucking pay those dues, it's like not everybody's gonna do it.
And it might be sooner. It might be 2 years, like you. It might be like you said, it's not like you went in there like, I'm gonna be one and done, but then it's like, I played my role, I continue to get better. And then after the second year, I'm like, okay, now this is real.
And
it might not be ready. You might not be ready after the second year. It might be the third year. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have different paths, but
you're gonna have time. You're still gonna be young. You're still not gonna have like as soon as you like guys have to understand the concept of how the game is played and how the business works, because a lot of young kids thinking that I'm gonna play basketball, I'm gonna get to the league, and it's all gonna work out for me, bro. If you don't understand how the game works, you will get left in the dust by the time your first year is over. Just because if you don't know how to fit in, if you don't know how to play the role, if you don't know how to do this or that, like, you're gonna be stuck. Because there's a lot of good guys in the NBA, bro. Like, even just from like watching the FIBA tournament, like, that's high level basketball. But like at this level, it's just different because now you got size, speed, skill, tough shot makers, like all that, and that goes into
courts bigger, courts wider, bigger. I mean,
it's just a different game, and it's so funny because I've been playing at this level for 11 straight years, and I've been playing like at a high level pretty much my whole life. So like, I never got to play USA basketball. I never got to play like any of that. So I never got to experience like, not to say that it's like a worse talent level, but it's not the same as us. So like, it's just different. I've been playing at a high level for so long, it just feels normal. And that when you see guys coming in and going, you just don't even think anything of it, just because this is just kind of how I've been playing my whole life. I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to think about.
Oh, for sure. Well, like you said, it just becomes normal to you. Like, and that's a great feeling to have, for sure. Because there's guys that, they struggle to find that normal feeling because you're always worried about something. You're always worried about performing. You're always like, and that's something that can like be a detriment to someone's career.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
When you're like always stressed about, hey, I'm not playing. When I get in, I gotta do really good when I get in. But it's like, you get to that.
Because being a McDonald's All-American and Jordan All-American doesn't mean shit once you get here. Like,
no, for sure.
And not to say that that's what people are thinking, but it's just like it's such a different mindset.
There's a lot of pressure on these kids nowadays too. A lot, especially with social media and everything. So it's like you have all this pressure to perform, and like that's why you see guys that are under the radar that end up making it to NBA, and they grow their career that way. Like,
easy, for sure. Like, that's how it goes.
All right, last thing that I saw that I saved that I had to bring up. I don't know if you saw this, just to lighten the mood a little bit, but the huge chess world upset of the Grandmaster sparks claims of cheating with a vibrating sex toy.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Using like the little wires on his
penis. So I was reading. I mean, it's pretty wild. He claims this is all BS. The other guy just got up and left, quit the tournament after he lost because he was the grandmaster. Magnus. He quit.
So,
but they were saying that they have this technology that can give you vibrations. People use them. It's not necessarily, they don't use it just in sex toys, but they can put it anywhere, like sensors on you. And it vibrates and it tells you the moves.
That's like part of it too, but also this dude that he lost to was like the worst chess player in the entire tournament.
Well, he was ranked. Yeah, he was like 1 seed versus the 60th.
Yeah, and so like, and also this dude has been like, this isn't his first time of being accused of cheating. He's been accused in other tournaments of not doing this, but like it just drew red flags when he beat this dude in the fashion that he did, just because. And for him to quit and not really say anything about it, like it speaks. It's one of those subliminal messages where you just like, we all get it, but it's crazy because if you, I don't know how I got into this, but like maybe last year, because you remember that whole chess board game movie on Netflix with the girl with red hair. So when that came out, or like Queen Gambit, that's her name. When that came out, I ended up actually getting into chess. I started doing a little YouTube deep dive, and I stumbled upon Magnus because I was like, all right, like this Magnus became like the youngest world. What is it called? Grandmaster. Yeah, so he became the youngest grandmaster. Bro, there's a video of Magnus. He's like 9 or 10 years old. He's playing as a grown man in a tournament. He makes a move. The dude takes forever, and Magnus is like walking around watching other people play matches, and he'll come and check up on this table and just play a quick move. And then the dude take 5 minutes, and he's just walking around looking at other people's shit. And like the last move he did was just like. As soon as the dude made the move, he put his shit there and he just hit the time and walked up. He shook his hand and left, and the dude still got the table like, wait, and it was over. So like this dude, so the level of like genius that this guy has when it comes to chess, that's also another big factor as to why. That's just like Michael Jordan in '96 getting swept by, I don't know, let's just say a terrible team in the NBA at that time, and you're just like, how did that happen? Oh, it's because somebody was cheating. That's why. So I'm always going to take Magnus' side.
I know. I wish the only thing I would say is like, I've played chess. I'm not an awful chess player, but I've played a decent amount of chess where it's like, I feel like someone could lose just one match in it. Like it's something where it's like, it is very technical and it's like they're literally two people that are human being computers sitting there playing each other.
For sure.
But so it's like it could happen, but like it is a crazy game where it's like you just when you see, like you said, he can just walk over and analyze the board in 1 second and be like, okay, I know all the possibilities of what I can do, and then what that does to that player on his next move. Yeah, and it's
it makes you I get that because there's been times I've played. I had my whole team playing chess through the text messages.
Yeah, the text messages
a year ago, and I remember there was Kim Birch. I love him, bro. So really, really, really good at chess.
Wow.
Really good at chess.
Wow.
Like shockingly good. Like, and I never. And he was all. I've never. He was the one dude that always was like 2 steps ahead of me every single time. I never beat him. Never got close. It was just bro. Some people just think different. And
it's crazy. What a story, though.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it's good to catch up, and we will be back next week.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the show, what a wonderful delight. Patsy and T.ROSS better chop up on the mic. Just sit back, have a laugh, catch a vibe, and enjoy the ride.